Will the recession really start tomorrow? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's ask the question of, will the recession really start tomorrow? Or will we see the impacts of the cuts to Jobkeeper and JobSeeker begin to materialize tomorrow? For those of you that haven't been following the news, right now, Jobkeeper, which is a subsidized payment to businesses to keep staff on, is at $1,500 a fortnight. From tomorrow, it's going to be a two-tiered system based on pre-COVID hours. $1,200 a fortnight for workers on 20 hours or more, and $750 a fortnight for workers on less than 20 hours. Really, you think it should be tied to an hourly rate, perhaps, but there you go. So that's going to be for workers on 20 hours or more, $300 less a fortnight in their hand. And, well, for those on less than 20 hours, it's going to be $750 less in their hand. Because that's the, well, perversity of this Jobkeeper system. Some people have actually been better off. They've been better off on Jobkeeper than working in their job. That alone is quite concerning. From January 4th, it's going to, the top tier will be reduced to $1,000 and then $650. So they're slowly starting to wean these businesses off this subsidy or this support mechanism, this crutch. Now, one thing we've been noticing, if we look here, and I'll bring up a website. Just bear with me. ASIC insolvency notices. And here you can see all the published notices from companies that are going under or under administration or different things. Now, I know there's talk of Australia bringing in their own Chapter 11. I haven't looked at that. But if that can save some businesses and hopefully avoid money getting just friddled away to professional insolvency practices, perhaps that could be a good thing. I'll have to look into it a bit more. But I'm already concerned about the trading while insolvent liability has been pushed out until the end of the year. That's a risk, because that means if you're doing business with someone, it could be 6 months before they even respond to your demand for payment. Now, employees who prefer the security of a guaranteed fortnightly pay or monthly pay or weekly pay may not appreciate or may never experienced how frustrating that can be for a small business. Particularly if there's a big wealth disparity between you. You know, you're working for a rich business, a big business, and they just drag it out. I know everyone who's worked in construction has experienced that. It seems to be the running joke in our game. So we can see here, you can see just all the businesses that have, notice for a meeting of eligible employee creditors. Resume meeting of creditors, notice of meeting. So all of these notices of different meetings and different businesses that are wrapping up, that people who are owed money, they may get something back, they may not, no, they want to declare a dividend, all of these things that are going on here. But one thing to be aware of is that the number of businesses that are going insolvent right now is 60% lower than it normally is. What does that tell you? Some of these, one person commented on a video of mine that they received an ad for an insolvency business. So, I mean, that they could be looking up for work. These people may be getting desperate, but they could also be getting hungry too. So that's the concern. We're going to start seeing now a hit to all of these businesses. It won't just be the workers that get a hit. It will be the businesses as well that won't have as much money to pay them. So maybe they'll have to reduce their hours, or maybe they'll have to let people go. The eligibility criteria are also changing. How's that going to manifest in our unemployment rate? Well, if we see here, it's at 6.8. But if we look at some other data from Roy Morgan, everyone, they use a different methodology to the ABS. We can see here, ABS versus Roy Morgan, 92 to 2020. And what do we have at the top? This is, what is it? Looking for work, workforce unemployed. Okay. And right now, if we scroll right down to the bottom, ABS have us at 6.8% unemployment. Roy Morgan have us at 13.8% unemployment. The change for Roy Morgan was from 12.5 to 13.8. The change from ABS was 7.5 down to 6.8, so it was more positive. But with that ABS change that we're looking at there, most of the people went into small sole practitioners, their own businesses. Hopefully they're looking to innovate, create their own opportunities, but the hours worked only ticked up 0.1%. So you have to see if that's going to be a positive change. I tend to lean more towards the Roy Morgan measure of unemployment. I think it's a little bit more accurate. The old joke is just double the ABS to get an accurate measure of unemployment. If we measured it like the US does, all the people on JobKeeper that are stood down and not actually being productive, then our unemployment rate for ABS would be about, what, between 8 and 10%. It'd be much higher. So, also changing tomorrow, JobSeeker. From September the 28th, the $550 coronavirus supplement is reduced to $250. The payment to continue at least until the end of the year. Recipients are able to earn $300 a fortnight. Now, I looked at these figures for how much these people get on JobSeeker. It isn't that much. But with the supplement, you know, it could be over $1,000 a fortnight. And for some people, that might be enough. If you don't have a family, if you're just living by yourself, you know. So I can see where there is a danger of these emergency welfare system being too generous and discouraging people to look for work. But I also appreciate the fact that there's no, what work is there right now? What work is there right now? Let's have a look here, and we'll jump over to another chart. Now this is the employment rate, the rate of people that are employed. So the employment rate in Australia increased to 60.3% in August from 59.8 in July. Okay, but what I want you to see is see this fall right here, just, you know, before 92, 91. That is the last recession. That is the recession Australia had to have. Now let's just take a little snippet of it here. And, you know, I will try and project the line across with my mouse. Oh, that's dodgy. But we'll say, you know, roughly that's right. So say 2001, 2002. Nearly a decade until we really reach the employment rate of that last recession. Now, look at that fall. That does not look natural. It's because it's not. It's not natural. That's the result of significant government intervention in the economy. Significant government intervention in the economy. Now, how long will it take? What if that takes 10 years, again, a decade, to reach that level? 2030, anyone? We'll have to see. There is talk of a V-shaped recovery springing back. But I've got other articles that we'll look at today about youth unemployment going up and the tremendous budget deficit that the federal government has now incurred. But you also have, as well, you've got now mutual obligation. So the people who are on this job seeker now have to try and find work. Now, I don't think that my understanding is this won't apply in Victoria because it's going to be hard for people to find work there. But how many businesses are going to be flooded by applicants? You know, how many are going to be flooded by applicants? How many are going to struggle to deal with that? How many of the job placement agencies are simply going to put people in useless courses? You know, the job maker program. I mean, in many ways, it feels more of the same old, same old. There's nothing really brave or exciting. But then again, this is with our political system here. There's no will for dramatic reform. Times haven't gotten tough enough yet for dramatic reform. I'd argue we need some special economic regions where we experiment with significantly scaling back government and, you know, intervention in the market of all types. Maybe allow a bit more freedom. Maybe give people, businesses a reduced minimum wage, but then also reduce the tax burden on those people. You know, maybe we need to experiment with things. It's just going to be the same of the same. So another thing to look at with this. So there are going to be people out there that, on JobKeeper, that will have less money in their pocket. People on JobSeeker will have less money in their pocket. There are going to be businesses that will no longer be eligible for the JobKeeper payments. And we're going to start seeing unemployment creep up. Now, business confidence and conditions. Let me bring that up. I've got this chart down here. You can see business conditions have declined while business confidence has slightly increased. It's slightly increased. We look at other industries. We look at consumer confidence. It's shot up, but it's still well into negative territory. Consumer sentiment isn't positive. People are worried. People are worried. So, will tomorrow be the day that we really start to feel the recession? Will it be remembered as once these changes, these cuts, started to ripple through the economy? When retail spending went down, when it took a hit. Let's look at a few other things over here. So we've got the employment rate. We've got business confidence has shot up. Here's unemployment. This is ABS, as I said, 6.8. And we can look at some other ones here. We can look at, what else? Consumer confidence. It's shot up to 93.8. Still in negative, though. Still in negative. And there you go. I mean, with these charts, with these numbers, what 100 means is that it's neutral. It's neutral. They ask people, do you think business conditions will be, in a month's time, will it be better, the same, or worse? And because we're under 100, that means more people think business conditions will be worse in a month's time than those that think it'll be better. There's more negative Nancys out there. That means there's more pessimism out there in the economy. Now, if there's more pessimism in the business owners who employ people, you've got to remember that businesses employ people. They create jobs out of nothing. They create jobs out of the risk of the business owners. They're the people, the small business people that are putting their homes on the line, that are taking the financial risk. If they don't get paid, they still have to pay their workers. That's business, everyone. So if their confidence is low, if their access to Jobkeeper has been reduced, do you think there's going to be an incentive for them to get out there and hire more people? We look at the job ads. I mean, it went up. Look at that plunge as well. So this is going to be a tough situation. You've got money that people have is getting cut. You've got business confidence, conditions going down. Confidence slightly better. You've got job ads at a low level, at quite a low level. But now you also have mutual obligations where people are going to have to be pushed out there to find work. So I think it's definitely going to be the beginning of some tougher economic times. We still have people with their mortgage holidays. We still have trading while insolvent until the end of the year. But this is going to put a dent in people's ability to spend discretionarily. Or the other question is, could it just simply affect our savings rate? Now, I'll jump over here. We have a look here. Household personal savings. We can see here in this chart, have a look at that. Have a look at that. So could these cuts to Jobkeeper and JobSeeker not actually materialize in hits to the retail sector? This is the other question. But could it disappear from this? Could our savings rate take a hit next month? Because household saving rate in Australia increased to 19.8% in the second quarter from 5.5% in the first quarter. So there you go. I mean, where's the max data? Is this the max data? I mean, it's never even been. Look at the 60s. Look at the 60s. It wasn't even near that. It was at 15%. And we kind of in the early 80s, we hit 20%. Here's the recession. Still just went down. People's savings went down. Look at this. Is this the GFC? Maybe around about here in the middle. But yeah, that just shows you people are worried. And people are stashing money aside. So there's the question I put to you. Do you think we'll start to feel the beginnings of the recession? Will it start to manifest because there's less money in people's pockets? Or do you think that will simply hit the savings rate there? Will that absorb some of it? Or will this be remembered as the time when people started to experience what a recession is in Australia for the first time in 28 years? As always, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I created, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or KuCoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.